Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, be the first one getting all the insight. Now today's video, we would like to discuss a little bit a topic that it's not pleasant. It's about cancellation, refusals, and also EOI closed or perhaps ROI closed. Now it's not, no one wanted to hear about this and no one wanted to publicize whether or not they got rejected or refused, but it's actually happening every day. Well, we gotta admit it. It's not 100% whether or not you gotta do a DIY. Well, despite that, I don't really promote people to do it yourself because obviously you're not a legal consultant. You're not a migration professional. So there's the refusal rate and anyway this unsuccessful rate for DIY is actually very high from the stats that we are looking at. But anyway, it's still your freedom, and that's obviously the reason for this channel, to provide you a more transparent information so that you can make an intuitive decision whether or not you gotta choose an agent, get a visa professional to help you, lawyer to help you, or perhaps do it yourself. Anyway, now it's a daily routine that we don't see it much from outside, but obviously on the forum, in the industry, people get rejected, refused, EOI closed, ROI closed. So what are you gonna do? Okay, so there's a little bit of scenario here I wanted to discuss with you first. We go through the skill select first, shall we? So obviously the Australian skill migration program that including the independent skill migration 189 visa, state nomination 190 and 491, employment sponsor. Well, employment sponsor is not invitation based, but the global talent and the BIP, whether or not they're going to open the business innovation visa anymore, but those kind of visa are traditionally invitation based. So they invented this system called skill select. It's I think it's only Australia and New Zealand is using this kind of system whereby you're putting your so-called expression of interest. Well, but nowadays the government, I should say this, because of the competition, so it's technically a huge talent pool. Whether you're gonna be under 189 visa, 190 visa, or 491 visa, or global talent, it's a talent pool. So they create this talent pool, and then you gotta throw in all the best that you can into this pool, and somehow you get picked and invited. So obviously they are putting the candidates in competition of each other. So what you need to do is ultimately you need to provide as much as sophisticated, as complex a detail of yourself to show how good you are in order to actually get invited. So you gotta put that in your mindset. Despite it saying it's expression of interest, well, commonly known or business practice, expression of interest basically means, yes, I'm interested about this. Would I be invited? But in the current situation of the talent pool, you cannot just put your hands up, or the state government, they use registration of interest as well as the ROI. So it's the same, EOI, ROI, it's the same. It's the same mechanism that you're putting your brief information in order to attract attention. So the government, whether it's going to be state government or the federal government, they will invite you. But under this system, the only problem is it's actually not giving the right meaning and purpose, because expression of interest and registration of interest basically actually by its dictionary meaning, it's I am interested, yes, let's sign up and see if you get invited and I pay. Well, pretty obvious, but the demand and the requirement, the purpose of putting this expression of interest, EOI or ROI, is obviously I want to get invited. And due to the circumstances of the talent pool, you're required to prove as much as you can, as detailed as you can. So then the problem here is it's not really an ROI or EOI anymore. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because it's not just putting your hands up and putting your names, date of birth, information, your brief background. It's no longer like that. You got to put very, very detailed as much as you can in order to win that invitation. So as people, obviously, they don't tackle this kind of things in daily life. And they got not rejection, but usually they will come the ROI or EOI with a negative result. So negative result can mean they can put a state government will put reject, or the federal government will say the EOI is closed. That basically meant you did not get picked, you did not get invited. So what do you do with this? Now obviously, then you need to repolish of your profile. And you can put it again. You can put an EOI again. You can put in again. You can submit again. You can submit a new ROI again. But make sure you don't submit the same thing. Remember, it's a talent pool. You're in a competition of all the talents, who that you don't know, and they're all around the world. Okay. So in order for you to win, you need to put more detail. Now, that's one thing. The other thing is some people basically doesn't even meet the requirement. You gotta understand, you gotta read what the immigration website information is given to you, although it's very, very brief, and that's why I always suggest people to engage a migration agent or lawyers or professional. Otherwise, you probably cannot even depict whether or not your application is actually complex or comprehensive or detailed enough to actually meet the EOI and ROI requirement. Okay, so that's where you get now. So once you get invited, you get, this is the general skill migrations skill select, and there's also the expression of interest in the global talent. Look, I really strongly recommend that you go through detail here, but despite of the purpose and meaning of expression of interest, some people just put in very brief information. Then what happened there? You don't really get, you don't get invited. Your expression of interest get closed. So that's a problem. Now, anyway, once you get invited, obviously you have that you get reference number, and you click on the button, and you can actually submit your visa application through email account. Now, it's not final yet. That people still get perhaps. Usually, once you lodge your visa, you get refusal, not canceling. So I'm not going to talk about canceling visa. I'm going to go down here talking about the refusal. The refusal generally means that your visa application was unsuccessful despite it's being invited. There are some reasons there, but if you're going through an expression of interest, well, the ratio of get refusal is actually very low. There's only perhaps a character issue or a medical issue that you don't meet the requirement, or perhaps whatever the skill or talent that you claim, you cannot prove with evidence of proof. So then, what can you do about that one? Now, the only thing that you can actually do once you get refused, obviously, you can resubmit an EOI or ROI again and go through the exact same procedure. But my recommendation is that you gotta understand what happened there. What was the reason that you actually get refused? Okay, if you don't know the reason you get refused, bluntly submit the application or EOI again. It's basically wasting your time as well, and especially a visa already submitted, the cost already there. I don't think you can actually get refund on that one. But understand the reason of refusal will actually help you to actually for the next visa to actually win. So there's always hope there, but you gotta know what happened. What was the reason? What was the element causing such refusal, or perhaps the EOI got closed? and then you can actually, you might want to do a DIY again, or perhaps find somebody who is professional, understand the actual immigration law to help you out on that one there. Anyways, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.